ahead and take a look at what the city has to say about the show. We typically like to find a publication, a local publication, and see what they rate the show and get their take on how the show went too. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We're going ahead and move into that. So The Guardian, I think this is the local publication. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I did, I swear I tried to find a local publication. They haven't posted it. I'll tell you, Texas was fast. They posted theirs the next morning. So I'm clocking y'all. If y'all not posting y'all reactions to the show, these local publications, get on it, man. Y'all got to get there quicker. All right, so this is the review from The Guardian. Kendrick Lamar and SZA review powerhouse duo make their mark in Atlanta. They're giving it 4 out of 5 stars. That's interesting. Atlanta Journal and Constitution. I looked up both of them. I didn't see anything though. If anybody finds the link, to those publications, I looked them up right before we hopped on. I'm just not able. They haven't posted anything yet. The record-breaking Grand National Tour brings together 2 stylistically opposed stars. It continues an internet-breaking feud. Absolutely breaking the internet. Absolutely breaking the internet. Just when it seems as if Kendrick Lamar had dropped his grudge against Drake, it turns out his game over coda to the Super Bowl halftime show was just the end of regulation. On the Grand National Tour, a 4-month stadium circuit for the Grammy-sweeping album and SZA's reissue album Lana, Lamar takes the music industry's most bitter rivalry match into overtime. The scorekeeping has not stopped. The Grand National Tour's opening date in Minneapolis last week totaled more than $9 million from more than 47,000 spectators, giving Lamar claim to the highest grossing hip hop concert of all time, surpassing the record Eminem set for playing Melbourne, Australia in 2019. That's what you get when you pair the hottest rapper in the game with an R&B queen who is coming off the critical and commercial success of the buddy comedy One of Them Days. Anybody check that out? I did check that out. One of Them Days was decent. It was decent. It was a little, you know. It was all right. Let me know what y'all thought about that show. Tuesday's date at Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium was yet another cross-cultural moment that drew 45,000 spectators on the same night Pearl Jam was playing across the street at State Farm Arena. Ooh, that's crazy. So it looks like it's about 2,000 less spectators. A traffic twaffer what is a twaffer? A traffic twaffer reminiscent of the spring 2023 weekend when Janet Jackson and Taylor Swift held dueling Midtown concerts. Jesus is more important than Kendrick Lamar or Eddie Vedder. One curbside evangelist shouted along the boulevard between the two show venues. See, that's what I like to see. I like to see what's going on at the show. Somebody outside was like, yo, Jesus is more important, which he is. Okay? We understand that. We just here to have a little fun. Just a little fun. But his message was lost on a crowd that was too busy adding to the city's legendary gridlock. There was some sense that even Lamar knew to expect a few thousand late arrivals, given how the show kicked off. After an opening DJ set by Mustard, the Marquis de Lafayette, and Lamar's rap war with Drake, the lights went back up for 30 minutes as the speakers blared Quiet Storm classics from Anita Baker and Luther Vandross. So it seems like y'all was late to the show, Atlanta. What happened? Huh? Y'all was late to the show. He said he was expecting a couple thousand people being late, so they went lights up for 30 minutes. GNX album inspirations who stoked feud rumors in their heyday. But the enthusiasm and marijuana smoke thickened again when Lamar rose up on stage. I like this person's writing style. They're a little messy because even in the beginning they said he beat Eminem, but that's what happens when you pair a duo like these two. So he being messy. Lamar rose up on in his now trademark black Buick GNX and set the tone for a multimedia Cal, wait, Cavalcade. Bro, I need to know what this means. Cavalcade. Man, we looking that up. Stop playing with me, man. I told y'all we take time to learn words around here. Cavalcade. What does that mean? Cavalcade? A formal procession of people walking on horseback or riding in vehicles. Is it a cavalcade? I'm tweaking. No, it say cavalcade, man. It say cavalcade. We had to figure that out. Cavalcade, that's a new word. And just so y'all understand what it means, so y'all can use this in a sentence later, a formal procession of people walking on horseback or hiding in vehicles. Use that word. All right. Lamar rose up on stage in his now trademark black Buick GNX and set the tone for a multimedia cavalcade that was more of a gaper's block than a groove. Man, this person's writing style is tough. While Lamar rapped the first few bars of whacked out murals from the inside of the car, a giant backdrop screen showed him inset from the inside against an animated graffiti that echoed the tributes that Lamar makes in the song. The car and the screen were critical storytelling vehicles for a concert where conflict is a prevailing theme. Even Lamar and SZA are stylistically at odds. Where he represents the cold and unforgiving concrete jungle and Los Angeles Los Angeles more specifically, SZA is at home in nature among the caterpillars and praying mantises, which her dancers personified. Katy Perry style for SZA's performance of Garden. For most of the 3-hour show, the big screen treats Lamar and SZA with extreme prejudice, flattening the color in Lamar's flared slacks and red tee to black and white while accentuating all the hues for SZA's lush set pieces. How long is this? Okay, not too long. Not too long. But early on in the show, the figurative wall between the two artists comes crumbling down on screen during SZA's performance of The Weeknd, revealing an orange glowing wood, an unmissable nod to the recent LA wildfires. Oh, that's dope. For her mid-show performance of Garden, SZA mounts a giant ant called Anthony while her dancers and backing orchestra are covered in vines and moss. The act crescendos with her taking to the air in butterfly wings and a cocoon-shaped ball gown that drops dramatically on the stage floor and flying into the twilight to Nobody Gets Me. Her first time this year touring the song. Okay, so you're getting another song from SZA. See, that's why I read this stuff. That's why we read this stuff. It wasn't immediately clear whether it was her ex or her team that told her to stop performing the song. Either way, she didn't give a F. It's all about y'all. But the conflict that ultimately wins out in this one between Lamar and Drake. At various points between act breaks, the big screen played snippets of Lamar sitting for a deposition, a direct shot at Drake's recent efforts to respond to their ongoing rap beef through legal channels. Initially, an off-screen counsel asked Lamar if allusions to violence were just him being metaphorical or whether they should be taken as a threat. Take it how you want. We know that. In another deposition scene, Lamar is asked if his disappearing acts between albums are just another form of attention seeking, which is how Drake has framed his dynamic with Lamar. Even SZA gets in on the legal back and forth, pushing back when the off-camera lawyer mispronounces her name and accuses her of seeking out dysfunctional relationships for their creative potential. So I think that that's kind of crazy though. That part, right, where it's just a form of attention seeking because you go away and come back and make music. Not everybody has a plethora of writers, which we did react to a Chapo song, by the way. He said something on Twitter about reacting to a song. So I haven't put it out yet. Maybe we'll go ahead and put it out tomorrow. But he doesn't have a slew of writers, so it tends to take a little bit more time to create good music. Shout out to From Tracy with Love. It tends to take a lot more time to make good music when you're writing and creating all of this on your own. You have other people doing it for you. You can put out multiple albums in a year. It's just that easy. Not surprisingly, Lamar brings the house down with Not Like Us before closing out the show with Luther, his current chart topper with SZA. And while the A minor sing-along and other Drake call-outs hit as hard as ever, it was a bit of a disappointment to see the crowd not connect with the song's painstaking reference to Atlanta. Lamar dedicates a whole verse to the city's history while exposing Drake as a culture vulture. So they're saying, Atlanta, if you were there, let me know if this is true. It was a bit of a disappointment to see the crowd not connect with the song's painstaking references to Atlanta. So you run to Atlanta when you need a check balance, and then talking about all the artists, Thug, Future. Is he saying that the crowd didn't connect with that? Yeah, I want to know from y'all. Real quick, okay, not true. Not true. That is so incorrect. We connected. My whole section sung that verse. We connected. He lives in a circadian rhythm of a shooting star. Tip Tip says we definitely connected. On the live stream, it sounded like they went crazy. We were the loudest concert so far. Every word was shouted. Happy Euphoria anniversary. Article is a liar. I was there. Nah, the energy I saw in the video says different. Every song, everybody sang it loud. Okay. Guardian. And I caught you being messy a couple times. People praying for, I caught you being messy a couple times. All right. Now you don't have to be on the side of any, you don't have to be on any particular side, but I do think that we see people in videos responding differently. So definitely, if you guys find a local publication that actually wrote up something about the show, I want to talk about that too. While this show, wait. Lamar dedicates a whole verse to the city's history while exposing Drake as a culture vulture. What's more, Lamar's political strokes struggled for urgency without Donald Trump and a worldwide Super Bowl audience to play against. What? Oh, okay. Okay, you being messy. All right, let's get to it. While this show will no doubt go down as another victory for Lamar against the erstwhile biggest name in rap, it was still hard to come away from the night without thinking that Drake may have had a point when he suggested that Lamar's oeuvre doesn't easily convert to a concert fare. Take Not Like Us and Be Humble off the 50+ set list, and the big numbers, the ones that get the crowd holding their hearts and swaying and recalling those moments years later, are all SZA's. In the end, it takes two to In the end, it takes two to take Drake down, but Lamar still gets the last shot. Oh, whoa. This is the most like Andrew Lawrence. I told you, look, Andrew Lawrence, Wednesday, April 30th at 10:50 Eastern. I'm telling you, bro, it took a minute to get these to go up. He gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And gave it a pretty decent review, but I could see the messiness from this Eminem spot. I'm telling you. Listen, chat, that's what they saying. Andrew Lawrence, don't make us find him. Andrew Lawrence, listen, I still don't think that's a local publication. That's The Guardian. If anybody finds a local publication, let me know. We definitely want to take a look at that. But from the videos, shout out to Simone for the 5. Writer is a biased clown. Yeah, man. Hey, look, from what we saw through our look through the show, this doesn't even add up. So that's a part of the reason why I like to do these after every show, and we're going to continue to do that, is because we look at the show and we look at what they're writing. We look at the show and we look at what others are saying. And just through some of the videos that we looked at, This is not true. This is not an accurate depiction of what happened. Right? This is not an accurate depiction. So, hey, who is it? Andrew Lawrence at The Guardian? Hey, bro, your days are numbered up there, man. Your days are numbered. But all right, on to the next topic.